What's going on, everybody? Today we are doing the final review of the Extrema ratio BF2 CT stonewash blade Tanto. Let me tell you, this knife has really surprised me. It kind of really knocked out a lot of aspects of what most knife reviewers out there always sit there and say that they like about thinness behind the edge and full flat grinds. This knife really kind of brought a lot of that home to, well, to me, not to them, obviously, because most of them never reviewed this knife. Matter of fact, if you go online, you see very few people that have actually reviewed this knife or have even taken a look at it, and most of them are foreign, from Europe. So, which is understandable. It is from Italy, but it is for sale at some retailers over here in the US. I did buy this straight from Extrema Ratio. I think it was like $250 shipped to my door, and it came faster than a lot of other knives that I've ordered. So I was pretty shocked. This is a very nicely made knife. There's aluminum handles. Yes, it is a liner lock, but that's a very aggressive liner. It is not a flimsy liner by any stretch of the imagination. Plus, they have their locking system right here, and that lock does not go anywhere. Let me tell you, it doesn't go anywhere. That lock works very nicely. There is absolutely no movement in this blade. This thing is secure and tight. It's got a very mechanical aspect to the close, but you can still kind of really actually flip it pretty well. You can thumb flip it and you can middle finger flip it. It is a little harder than some knives out there that we're going to take a look at right now, like the Benchmade Griptilian. Nice fail on that one. PM2 Tanto. And let's bring in the Civivi. Oh, that was a nice fail too. Civivi Brazen. All these knives are pretty close to the same in the length, width, and every aspect pretty much. If you put them, stagger them on top, there's a little bit of a difference with the Civivi Brazen there, I guess. Yeah, the PM2, they're right on the money there. We try to keep it in camera here. And the Griptilian probably comes up short a little bit too, yeah. So there you go. The thing that I always find funny, everyone wants to talk again about slicey. This knife is pretty thin behind the edge. Let's see what we can actually get here. This is not rocket science here. This is obviously not the best tool for measuring behind the edge, but we'll just get a kind of a rough idea of what we're dealing with. Yeah, we're coming up with 34 thousandths. That seems thick behind the edge, but we're not particularly exactly on the edge. It's close. Let's do an actual blade stock at the height here. So 109 thousandths. So let's compare that to the PM2. Very popular knife. So we're 140 thousandths, so definitely a difference there. And behind the edge, yeah. See, the PM2's thicker in every aspect behind the edge and actual thickness. And let's, for giggles, let's throw in the Brazen here. Brazen's got a little bit, about 5 thousandths less. Yeah. Yeah, see the Brazen's actually pretty thin there behind the edge. So, in overall thickness. So there you go. Anyhow, let's move on. So like I said, I'm very surprised. This is a very nice knife. It's very well made. It feels really good in hands, size-wise. I don't like small knives, but this knife really, it fills the hand in good. And let me tell you something. Another thing that is very surprising is this pocket clip. I know it looks kind of crazy and all, but it is deep carry. It puts that pocket, buries this knife in your pocket. And the good thing is the way this pocket clip is designed, when you pinch that to pull it out of your pocket, you're not pushing down on the actual pocket clip. And that can be a real problem when you get into some deep carry pocket clips, not necessarily the sieving, because it's got enough of that curvature where you're not pinching down on the actual pocket clip, which is very problematic, like the Griptilian. If you're really pinching it, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the material of your pants. It makes it harder to kind of get out of your pocket sometimes. Let's actually get these things out of the way here. We don't need them out here. So yeah, so that's a nice thing about that. It's a very rigid area. You grab onto that to pull it out, and it comes right out of your pocket. The retention of the pocket clip is fabulous. That's a stiff pocket clip. The knife's not going anywhere. Not that it would anyway, because it's literally buried in your pocket. You'll see the pocket clip, and that's all you're gonna see. It's buried in your pocket. So anyhow, this knife is very well made. Came with a very, very sharp edge. I love the Tanto tip on it. Kind of has a unique American Tanto aspect, hardcore kind of aspect to it. Makes it great for any kind of task that you might be, that secondary tip for cutting open boxes or whatever you want to do. This knife really has a lot of that. Has a nice, like I said, has a nice mechanical feel to it. It's a super secure, locked up. I'm just very surprised that more people haven't reviewed this knife, haven't looked at these knives, because I was actually very shocked myself about the knife, and overall it's very nice quality. It's not super slippery or anything like that. You really can get a nice comfortable grip. That pocket clip's not going to bother you, and it doesn't bother me in the hand at all. So it feels really good to actually carry this knife in your pocket, and using this knife for most of anything that you're going to be really, facing in the course of a day. This is kind of a tactical knife. They do design this for police and military over in Italy and Europe, and a lot of military and police actually do use these knives. They also do have fixed blades. They do come in different blade configurations. So I'm surprised more people haven't actually checked them out. I've looked online and I don't see anyone doing it, but I guess this knife doesn't get in the pass around groups, so it's just no one's reviewing them. So that's how some knife reviewers are. They can't get it for free, and from a manufacturer, or can't get it in a pass around group, they don't get it. So there you guys go. Anyhow, that's enough ranting on for the day. That is the Extrema ratio. This one is the BF2 CT in Stonewash. And have a great day. We'll catch you next time.